Welcome to FurBowl VII. My name is Matt Lewis from FSPN, and we are here on a beautiful 79-degree day in Nashville, Tennessee. This is typically the home of the Nashville Tuts, but tonight, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you, it is in fact true, two brilliantly strong teams, the same two teams from last FurBowl as luck would have it. They say that the FurBowl is the game of your life, the opportunity to write your name into the history books. We've seen it before, unsung heroes rising to the top, and that's what these teams hope to do here tonight. I am joined in the booth for the first time by a legendary commentator from the basketball side of things whose nephew plays football for the Baltimore Ponies. It's Ryan Eastman. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you, Matt, for letting me join you tonight in this epic rematch of the Montreal Royals versus the Texas Ramblers.
Yeah, are you hyped to give your first ever game recap, play by play of football, or are you a little scared? Do I need to help make things happen for
I,
you?
I mean, if I stumble a little bit, be kind. But I mean, I did uh, helping out Lucas all those years. I definitely picked up quite a bit of football knowledge over those years, but definitely tad rusty, having been more involved on the FBA side of things here.
Yeah, I'd like to always give credit where it's due, and you do a lot of commentating for the FBA. This is the biggest game in the UFFL season, and I'm just happy to be sharing the booth with you tonight. A quick history lesson for you. It was 2019 that Texas and Montreal met on this global stage. And they were somewhat different teams, but the main tour de forces of that generation of both teams, for the most part, still remain. Who do you think are the key components on each side, which of both teams?
So, looking over the teams, I feel like it's going to come down to which defense steps up here tonight because honestly, both teams have a great offensive game. The Ramblers have arguably the best running back in the league in Keaton, uh, putting up a career best 1,700 rushing yards this season.
Yeah,
Absolutely dominated the
impressive.
rushing field. Uh, but on the other side, you can't count out the Royals. I mean, Appleby led the league in touchdowns with 34. He was a little bit on the high end with interceptions at 10, and you can't discount their rushing attack either with Ligustica, fifth overall in total rushing yards, and the fifth straight season they've put up 1,000-yard rushing season.
Yeah, and in fact, that 34 touchdowns that Appleby threw this season is a UFFL record. Yes, you heard that correct. It will be for regular season the most touchdowns anyone has ever thrown in 16 games, which, out of canon moment, yes, the NFL has more touchdowns, but this is a different league back in canon. So, in that regard, it's a very high caliber offense that the Montreal Royal have, and the Texas Ramblers have to account for that. One challenge that they're going to have tonight is the fact that they did come up quite short in terms of passing defense. They struggle in that department, and they have an injury currently right now at linebacker with Mox Prowler. So they do have the ability to take off offensively, but we are going to be watching the defense to see what they do and if they can control Appleby in this game.
Oh yes, I definitely worry about the cornerback depth of the Ramblers. To be fair to them, they only really have to worry about Hughes. Hughes is arguably the biggest threat on the Royals. That's not to discount the rest of the team, as again, Appleby put up a impressive season in regards to passing yards and touchdowns. He has a number of targets he can work with. It's the Ramblers just have to be able to stop him from getting the ball down the field.
Yeah, so for that point, if you go by record alone, the Ramblers have the upper paw with a 10-6 regular season record versus Montreal, who finished 9-7. But if you go by performance, like you said, Montreal finished unbelievably strong. Both teams had games where they scored over 55 points on offense, which another record to be told of this regular season. Texas will be imprinting their 76 points that they scored on Baltimore in one of these games. Now, going back to the regular season again, these two teams did meet once this year with a game score of 34 to 10, or sorry, 31 to 10. Montreal won that game. And as we were talking, the Montreal Royal won 2 years ago, FurBowl 2019, FurBowl VI, with a score of 38-13. So can the Ramblers get more than 13 points? Will the Royal get more than 30 points? Or will things be completely different this evening? We will find out tonight. It should be an exciting matchup. So it is the Texas Ramblers' third straight appearance in the FurBowl. That's even after switching conferences in 2019, and they will be looking for revenge from that 38-13 loss in 2019. Only one thing's for certain. The winner tonight will become the first team in UFFL history to win 2 FurBowls. So tonight it's do or die, Texas Montreal, FurBowl VII. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
This Mio Energy is completely crushing my game.
I love it. I take the stuff everywhere.
Exactly. Everyone's more energized, more alert. Lost their respect. Last night, I hit on a dirty hyena, and she laughed in my face.
Oh, that's nasty.
Remember when I used to be it? I was the man. You need to track the gazelle down for dinner. You came to me.
Oh, who's laughing now? Gazelle! Ah! Ha ha ha!
Personal portable Mio Energy. Shake things up.
Dear UFFL family and friends, thank you for joining us on this illustrious occasion, a night of friendly competition and an exhibition of endurance. As you know, today we will crown a new UFFL champion in what will become a yearly tradition here in the UFFL. The handing off of the championship trophy shall be done by the former FurBowl MVP. Last year's MVP was running back Rachel Cerveza. She was a key component of the running game in the Montreal Royals' victory, and we are glad that she could join us here tonight. For anyone else wondering, and anyone else who's joining us for the first time today, I welcome you to our family. I would like to extend our thanks to the members and fans of other furry sports leagues who remain instrumental to helping our leadership through advisement, advertisement, and integration. We are honored to share this sports environment with them, and we look forward to a continued future of collaboration and friendship. With that said, it is my honor to officially declare that FurBowl VII may proceed. Congratulations to the Montreal Royal and the Texas Ramblers on their amazing seasons, which conclude this evening. I wish both teams the best of luck and good health as they take the field, and I encourage tough play and good sportsmanship as they represent the UFFL in front of the world. May the best team win. And now our starting rosters. All right, everyone. One last thing before we kick off. I will be going out of canon here for a second. Thanks for everyone who's hung in there throughout the last couple of years in participating and contributing. Another season's coming to an end, but these things continue to endure, and we're extremely grateful for that. An announcement about the rules. The game rules remain similar to the NFL rules. So overtime is sudden death, meaning that if the game does go into overtime, and it certainly can because it did in the first ever FurBowl, the first score wins it. There is no second score. That's how it goes. The simulation that you will watch tonight takes into account the talents from both teams and determines the winner. Play calling matches the results determined by the simulation of previous season games, so anything and everything could happen, with the exception that any key injuries that would have impacted the outcome of this game were not accepted by the commissioners. We reran the simulation in that event. So we estimate that the game will last a little over an hour from start to finish. We ask for anyone watching live and for the participants of this game to refrain from spoiling game results until after both GMs have confirmed that they watched the game and or know the result. That's Jack Knight for Texas and Martineau from Montreal. We are trying to persuade individuals to come in and watch the stream live, but due to the time difference, it is likely not possible. We will share the results to everyone unspoiled 24 hours after the game completes. If any of your players are participating in tonight's game, obviously feel free to react in real time, but use spoilers in the UFFL Discord server in the UFFL Roleplay channel. Following the game, we will process the Pro Bowl game and start working through free agency contract extensions. But aside from that, we won't be taking much of a break. Our plan over the next few months is to get caught up with getting the draftee submission form published and potentially other significant changes to improve the quality of the experience with your feedback included. When we officially open the draftee submission form, there will be a couple months window to brainstorm and enter in draftee ideas with a much more simplified submission form. The draft combine, which was done based off of how you filled out the draftee form, will be a separate event from the form going forward. So more information on that in the coming months. That's all I have for now. So with that, we will take a 1-minute break here. And when we come back, we will kick off FurBowl VII. Stay tuned.
The Tanzanian cheetah can run upwards of 80 miles per hour. Relying on keen eyesight, the cheetah hunts during the day. Here we see a cheetah driving down the desert road smoking a joint.
What have I done?
Now he's getting a DUI from the cheetah police, which means he'll have to go to cheetah court, pay up to 10,000 cheetah dollars, and probably end up in cheetah jail. Don't be like the Tanzanian cheetah.
Welcome back. As you know, it is FurBowl VII, and we are just about getting ready for the kickoff. But before we do, just some final stats to share with you guys. I thought it was very interesting as the break was ongoing to learn that actually the Montreal Royal finished the season second in their rushing game and third in rushing defense. And that's to match up with Texas's passing offense and defense that were seventh and last in the league. So this is definitely for sure something that we're going to be watching closely tonight, Ryan.
No doubt. Both teams really struggled with defending the pass, but honestly, both teams are not too bad at stopping the rush, finishing in the top half of the league.
Yeah, they were both definitely impactful, and in terms of everything that I feel has happened in the last playoff games, they deserve to be here. We are really excited to get this game underway. It looks like Montreal has won the coin toss, so they will receive first, and both teams are on the field. So we are about to kick off the game. And FurBowl VII is on. As the punt goes through the air very slowly.
Look, they kick it high and far to give their team a chance to make it down the field to take down the return men.
It's beautiful. And here comes Montreal's player up the field, returning by Keontae Hughes, and he will make it up to about the 37-yard line, and that's where Royals will begin the first drive, the first offensive drive of this playoffs, of this FurBowl. So 1st and 10, and they will hand the ball off. Appleby will hand it off to Lagustica, who only gains about a yard.
I'm probably going to call him Vito for the night just to save myself from complete and utter devastation of mispronunciations here.
Yeah, Lagustica's name in general is a bit difficult to get the hang of. The Bumblebee, I don't know if he's personally offended by that, as he gets the ball again for a short gain, tackled by Adelaide Gumberton, who is a rookie this year. And it's already 3rd down, so they will have to go to the air on this last play here. Looks like Appleby is scanning the offense, throws it out to number 89. That is that's Keontae Hughes, and he does pick up the first down.
Hughes is a sure bet to go to, and the defense looks like they're going with man-to-man here on third down.
Yeah, Hughes, one of the leading wide receivers for the Royal. They get the first down conversion. It will be 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they hand it off to number 45. That is Lagustica, and he gets through the secondary, still running with the ball, finally brought down in the backfield for a 19-yard gain, first down.
Yeah, Vito buzzing all across the field there. Dodged, I think, one player before breaking free.
Biggest impact so far, biggest play so far, as we are 2 minutes into this first quarter. The Royal are now at about the 31-yard line. That's just within the range of their field goal kicker. So it is 1st and 10 from the 31. Appleby throws the pass, looks for his receivers, makes an adjustment, and the catch from the tight end, Herbert Blunt. He shakes off Rainey and is dragged down finally after a 5-yard gain.
Yep. They established the run game, and now they're starting to go to the air, which is going to be their strength, I think, here tonight.
Absolutely. It is decidedly the fact that they have, in most games, finished pretty decently in passing. They get another first down here. I missed who that was, but it was enough yards to get to the 21-yard line. They are 9th in passing this season overall, which is about average. But Appleby, of course, we mentioned his 34 touchdowns, UFFL record. So will he be the first to score tonight with a pass as he goes back again, looks underneath and finds Hughes, who is tackled by Alvaro Serrano for 3 yards. That's 2nd and 7. Upcoming.
Yeah, Serrano's going to be heavily tasked tonight, being forced to cover Hughes, I think, one-on-one the whole night.
Serrano is trying desperately, I would say, to cover who is a very traditionally difficult wide receiver in Keontae Hughes. And Serrano's skill set, mostly, hanging out in the cornerback's position. But we mentioned without Mox Prowler at linebacker, there is a little bit of a shuffling in the Ramblers defense that they have to do to manage some of these formations. 3 receivers out. Royal going to the air again. They have not missed a pass, and this one gets completed to Eric Sulzbach, who is brought down by Patrick Reeves, and that will be another first down. It is 1st and goal now from the 5.
Yeah, rapid fire aerial attack down the middle to the tight ends and out wide to Keontae Hughes. I mean, they are shredding this defense apart, and they might need to start throwing some blitzes in to get pressure on Appleby.
This is a beautiful, at least structurally from the coach's perspective, way to start the game, spreading the ball out to all their receivers, not just Hughes, giving a little bit of love to Sulzbach, who is new to the league. And definitely now we'll see from 1st and goal if they are able to convert for the first score of FurBowl VII. So 1st and 5. And they hand it off right through the middle. And that is a touchdown by Lagustica, and the crowd goes wild. Kind of angry crowd.
Yeah, well, I had a feeling that they were going to go to run there after so many consecutive passes for first downs. You felt like the Ramblers were cheating towards a zone defense, and when you drop back in the zone, it just gives the running back an opportunity to get up the gut with a good set of blocks.
And that was only 5 minutes of perfect offensive drive. They did not really face much adversity there. Lagustica carrying it in for the team, gets the first score of FurBowl VII. And interesting enough, that really got my eyes alerted to the fact that most of the fans here tonight, of course, the game is only a couple states away from Texas. There's a lot of Ramblers fans here tonight, and they were not happy to see the Royal score here first. They, of course, are the defending champions as well. So if you hear the extremely passionate Ramblers fans, I apologize in advance, but there we have it. That was a 2 tight end jumbo play and counter left running back. Lagustica gets the first score for the Royal. So it is 6-0, and it looks like Kim, the kicker, Tyler Kim, got the kick through the uprights. It is 7-0 now. As we kick it off, the Ramblers will get the first possession of their offense to take the field.
Yeah, and for the Ramblers fan, I know they're upset because they had a 3rd and 8 and they just could not stop them.
Yeah, there wasn't a single third down conversion that was missed. There wasn't a single really 4-and-out situation at any risk at any point except that very first set of downs. The Texas Ramblers here, it looks like it's returned by Artemis Milano to the 25. That's where we will start the Ramblers' first offensive drive of FurBowl VII with 9:51 left in the first quarter. Here takes the field. It will be the quarterback, Andrew Calder, backing up and trying to get the ball off. He finds number 87. That is Jackie. And Jackie has wide open, still running down to the 40. This is a huge play all the way to the 36-yard line. That is first down, finally brought down by Isaac Hunt, the cornerback. Has been a big play factor in Montreal, but he couldn't cover the Dragon on this play, and that's a huge first play for the Ramblers.
Yeah, and that just comes down to the Montreal defense not having a safety over there to help. As you saw, Calder threw the ball perfectly to Knight in stride and just charging down the field with it came down to Hunt having to play the chase down artist and tackle.
Yeah, it was the extreme passionate ability of the wide receiver. Of course, Jackie in a third straight Pro Bowl, and probably also third straight Pro Bowl. But what I meant to say was third straight Fur Bowl. Here on a mission to prove herself, as well as Andrew Calder, who had to step back a little bit this year, but found his feet and is able to still lead this team to a big first down. So at the 36-yard line, it will be 1st and 10 for the Ramblers. And they will go to the air again, this time picking up their long-time tight end, Liam Palanteris, down to slightly to the left, finally tackled by safety Claudio Fox for about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, the strike did not do any favors to Calder at all. Definitely one of the players that took a step back this past season.
Yeah, we will have to take a look at the Montreal passing defense, which they come up 12th out of 16 teams this season. So it's not their strong suit either. But in terms of being able to play a bit closer defense after that first play, you bet there's going to be some adjustments to try and make that happen. 2nd and 5, they will hand it off to their running back, and they will gain a couple yards. That's Carice Kenton. That's his first carry of the game, tackled by Gorman.
Well, something to keep in mind from the Royals defense, they are last in interceptions and second and last in pass deflections. They are not a team that goes for interceptions often.
And just like that, we're at 3rd and 2, and they try a quick run up the middle for a short gain, but it won't be enough to get the first down conversion. So kind of here out in the far end territory, they will have to make the decision of whether to go for it on 4th and 2 from about the 27-yard line or go for the field goal. Unfortunate end to what looked like a beautiful start to their first drive. But we will see here in a second if they're going to go for it. No, they'll go for the field goal. And is it through the uprights? It is good. That's a 45-yard field goal by Curtis Pike. 45 years from now, I will be rolling over in my grave. But it is their first score of the game, so both teams able to score on their first possessions. But it is Montreal coming up first on top. 7-3 is the score with 7:37 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that big play, you wanted to see them come away with a touchdown after that 38-yard pass to Jacqueline Knight. And to have only come out with a field goal is actually a win for the defense.
I know that they are trying to wear down the defense of the Montreal Royal in all certain ways. Similarly, they were 3rd this year in rushing defense, the Royal. So it is a bit more of a difficult task to try and tackle them head on. Carice Kenton, of course, we brought that up. He's totally up for the task, and he will be hard to stop. but in this particular case, he was able to be stopped. And Alexander Gamble, sorry, not Alexander Gamble, Isaac Hunt being part of the process of that, as well as Tim Gorman, and they had to settle for the field goal. So the Royal will get the ball back. They kick off here, the Ramblers back to the Royal, and we will see how they do on their second drive. So Ryan, how are you feeling about the Royal coming up with a touchdown and the Ramblers only having a field goal so far as they get a touchback here on this play?
Well, I feel like the two offenses faced two different challenges. The Royals faced a 3rd and 8 very early and managed to convert to a touchdown, whereas the Ramblers got off to a great start with a huge play, first play after the kickoff, and they couldn't convert. So all the questions are going to be on them in their second drive if they can actually convert something.
Now they will hand it off right away to Lagustica, who only gets a yard there, tackled by Meyer. So it'll be 2nd and 9 coming up. They tried again to run the same play, but to the right that they ran that actually resulted in the touchdown earlier. But this time it was to the right, and they gobbled that up immediately. So they will have to come back with something a little bit different this time. 2nd and 9. In the I formation, Appleby is going to pass. He drops back and stumbles a little bit, but is able to get the pass off to Ellison, but it falls incomplete. So that's the first incompletion of the game, and we are halfway through the first quarter. All right, 3rd and 9. Third and 8, excuse me, from the 26. Appleby back to pass and pumps the ball. Looking for a wide receiver, still has the ball, is getting good protection, finds number 89 to the right, and he's going to be just short. That's Keontae Hughes, tackled immediately by Serrano, and that will bring up their first 3 and out.
Yeah, I wish Hughes had decided to run a little bit more after their route had ended. I mean, it was 1-on-1 at that point. They probably should have come back to the quarterback a little bit and tried to get some separation there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a delay and confusion, I think, that the ball maybe wasn't planned to go to Hughes on that play. And so with Appleby looking to the right, he had to change up the play. There was no return from the punt by Lopez, and it'll be first down about the 25-yard line for the Ramblers. They will get an opportunity here to hopefully score again and perhaps get the lead for the first time in this game. 1st and 10. They come out with two tight ends, and Calder scans the field, drops back, plants his feet, and look inside. That's pass to Kenny, who is tackled, and that's a 5-yard pass. Sorry, I was a little bit delayed there, but it was tackled finally by Tevin Matsby, who's, I believe, in his 2nd year with the team. So it'll be 2nd and 5. Ramblers here, again, looking for something to get going on offense. They will hand it off to Kenton. Kenton goes around to the left, gets good protection, able to get the first down. It's an 8-yard run finally brought down by Claudio Fox.
Yeah, that was great protection from the O-line there. I mean, that was easily 5+ yard just off of the blocking scheme.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 39. They hand it off to Kenton again, and he will get tackled by the big fish, Jetty Abrams, and that will only be a 2-yard gain for the Ramblers.
And keep in mind, the Catfish, 2nd in the league in tackles this year.
Yeah, Abrams, you will see his name come up a lot tonight. He has been a star for the team ever since the team's first season. And he gets the tackle here again, able to stop Crease 2 plays in a row, and that was 2nd and 7. So now we're bringing up 3rd and 7 for the Ramblers. They need to get this first down if they want to stay competitive, at least in this first quarter, as we get under the 5-minute mark for the first time. 3rd and 7. Andrew Calder is going to pass, looks underneath. That is Milano, who gets the first down. Over the head pass, but gets flattened out completely by Pat Snow at the end of the play. And it might be a bit of an injury for Milano. We're going to take a quick moment to figure out if that's the case, if it's significant enough.
I was going to say, it looked like Pat Snow tried to jump the route and just the ball got over his head and surprisingly caught up to Milano.
Yeah, the kangaroo is holding her tail a little bit. I don't know the extremity to which, if that's going to be impact or not, if she'll be able to come out on the field. For the moment, the game will resume here with 4:33 left. The Ramblers are now at the 44-yard line after that first down completion, but we will keep you updated on the status of Artemis Milano in the coming minutes here. It doesn't look super serious, but I can't be sure. So 1st and 10, Calder lining up with 2 tight ends again, drops back and scans the outside, finds Plantress, who is tackled immediately by Fox, but after a 7-yard gain. So Claudio Fox with several tackles in this game, not somebody who gets talked about a lot, but has been an impact on the secondary for the Royal for a few years now. And Palantris, of course, we know has been with the Ramblers since the very beginning. So those two have a very key matchup. And I just have a quick question to Ryan here. Like, both teams have these similarities in their player rosters that you're able to see players who know each other very well. They've played with each other for several years. How does that play an impact in certain positions where maybe, we're talking here about the Texas Ramblers defense not being as consistent as the offense, so they have to constantly relearn the playbooks. And in this case, the last play, Jackie Knight's pass gets broken up by Isaac Hunt. What are your thoughts on just what it does when you are able to refer to the same players over and over again? And in 3rd and 3 here, it's going to be just short from Kenton.
I'm sorry, are you asking in regards to these players matching up against each other?
Well, when you have Appleby being able to throw to Hughes, or you have Calder being able to throw to Knight,
Oh, okay.
over
Sorry, yeah,
several
now I've caught
years,
up
they're
now.
able to
I've
develop.
caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the tandems, they build a nice tandem system. I mean, it's very tough for the defenses to really get the nuances of the connection these receivers and quarterbacks have. Quarterbacks, understand which way their receivers are going to cut. Receivers tend to know, how their quarterback's going to throw, so they can put their bodies in the best position to get the pass. And the quarterback in the flip side knows what the receiver likes the most. I mean, we talk about Keaton, uh, 6'5", big receiver.
big.
Appleby knows to throw high and let him fight for the ball against the smaller cornerbacks. Whereas, a smaller receiver, the quarterback may need to hit more in stride between the numbers to let them keep their speed and outrun the defenders.
Yeah, and as you were giving that explanation, we did see the Texas Ramblers had to go for it on 4th and short with another field goal, but Curtis Pike comes up big again with a 52-yarder. That makes the score 7-6 now. So the Ramblers are 1 point short with just under 3 minutes left in this first quarter.
Well, I actually disagree. I don't think they had to go for it. They have not had a negative gain yet here tonight. And speaking of like sabermetrics, they say with anything above like a 40-yard field goal should be attempted on 4th down.
Yeah, they could have gone for it. I think the thinking was that because it's the first quarter, you don't want to take those risks in the biggest game of the year, as we see the return here from Lagustica goes to the 25-yard line. But I think the opposite in a game like this. It is the first quarter. You should definitely go for it in those situations where you don't trust your field goal kicker. But I guess they are feeling the need to make up for previous mistakes. I don't know. Uh, Curtis Pike has missed field goals in prior
Hmm.
FurBowls, so it is a bit of a risk to bring him out. But he gets that one, and now it's just a 1 point game with the Royal taking over from the 26.
Yeah, you're either a hero or an idiot, depending on how the play goes. In the end, if they converted a 4th down and scored a touchdown, they'd be in the lead right now. But if they didn't, they'd be down by 4 points.
Yeah, so they'll take the points here. It is 1st and 10 now from the 26 for the Royal. And they've got 2 tight ends, close formation, toss it out immediately to Lagustica, who gets 3 yards up the left-hand side, tackled by Hesperia, who's another long-term defensive player for the Ramblers.
Sir, I heard you mention earlier Cerveza was the MVP from last FurBowl. It's interesting that Vito is getting the majority of the carries here tonight.
Yeah, Lagustica is traditionally been the main running back, but in last year's or 2 years ago's FurBowl, Cerveza made do with everything, every opportunity that she was given, and her speed was just an unstoppable force at that time. And she came up with the MVP award, which means that she has potentially the possibility of handing off this award to the winning team if the Royal come up here again tonight and win this thing as a whole. Could be a very interesting moment. But for now, it is 2nd and 6, from the 29-yard line, and Montreal will hand it off to their fullback, who is taken down immediately from the defensive end. That was sniffed out immediately. So it's 3rd and 6. And on 3rd and 6, it's a run from the quarterback itself. Sorry, that is not the quarterback running.
That's the Bumblebee.
That is the Bumblebee. I was looking through rose-tinted glasses, and he's getting the whole defense trailing him behind.
He's not going to catch him.
If they catch him, it's totally due to the Lagusta guy himself. Down to the 10, and finally got caught by Hesperia. But that is a 1st down, largest play of the game, 61-yard burner by the Bumblebee.
Yeah, I think he started to run out of some juice there at the end. I mean, he has been carrying the workload in a 61-yard run. Man, they were not expecting at all a run on 3rd down and 5.
Up to this point, only 29 yards on 6 attempts. But then that play almost encapsulates 100 yards already, and it's only the 1st quarter, Ryan.
Yeah, he could easily break 200 to 300 yards if he keeps up this pace here tonight.
So that actually will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. They will let the run itself play out the rest of the clock. So we will go into the 1st quarter break here with a score of 7-6. We will see you from the other end zone when we come back.
It's winter again! But why hibernate when you can celebrate? Oop. Just call this number and get a free Pennsylvania winter guide to sports, arts and crafts, nightlife, and fun! Just call, did it again, 1-800-VISIT-PA. Operators are standing by.
Pennsylvania, America starts here.
Don't hibernate, celebrate!
Welcome back to the Tuts Stadium of Nashville, Tennessee. It is the 2nd quarter of FurBowl VII. Ryan Eastman joining me, Matt Lewis, in the booth tonight. And the current score, the Royal are up by 1, but they have the ball and they are within the 10-yard line. What are your thoughts so far in this game, Ryan?
Well, it has really come down to the Texas Ramblers have not converted on offense like we would have hoped. Their defense did manage to get a stop and prevent Montreal's previous possession from being going anywhere. But the Montreal defense has bent but not broken here tonight, giving up 2 field goals. But that is all, and you can't knock them there. It now comes down to their offense if they can get a score here to jump ahead 14-6.
Yeah, coming up here at the beginning of the 2nd quarter, it's going to be a major stop opportunity for the Ramblers if they can hold off the Royal out of the end zone. Of course, the opposite could be said for the Royal are going to try and score here, and they may hand it off to Lagustica, who would get their 2nd touchdown of the game, or it would be the 1st passing touchdown of the game entirely here, maybe to Keontae Hughes or one of the tight ends. So let's see now. As we start here the 2nd quarter, the referee has started the clock, and it is 1st and goal for the Royal. Pro set, handing off directly to Lagustica, and that is a touchdown. Touchdown number 2 for Vito Lagustica, the Bumblebee, and that is a beautiful celebration there.
Yeah, and you can't blame them for running out the clock there, giving an opportunity for Vito to rest his legs for the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, that was true. We had a huge 61-yard run leading up to that moment, and you got to catch the wind a little bit, so they ran out the rest of the first quarter clock there, came back out of the field, and on the first play of the second quarter, it is now 14-6. The extra point was good, so we will see the kickoff here now as it sails through this laser thin air. It's like the thinnest air in the world. The ball just floats, man. But what can I say? The team getting the ball back here. Ramblers caught by Milano, who looks to be back from her injury. Gets only to the 18-yard line, though, so it will be a long 82-yard process down the field for the Ramblers as they get the ball back, hoping to score here in the second quarter.
Yeah, better have just taken a touch back there instead of ending up on a shorter field.
But certainly good news to hear that the Kangaroo is just fine and she's back out on this big stage of a game. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers, handing it off to Kenton, but goes nowhere. The Catfish swallowed him up literally for no gain.
He has a big presence on the defense, and I think he is the main reason for the Royals' strength on the rushing side.
Definitely, for sure. 2nd and 10, a short pass up the middle to Cletus Kenny for 8, and it's brought down by Lon McNeil. It will be 3rd and 2 from about the 26-yard line, and it will be another important 3rd down conversion for the Ramblers here. They don't want to go 3 and out this deep back in their own side of the field. 3rd and 2. They've got 2 tight ends. They hand it off to Kenton, and that will be just enough to get the 1st down. So they survive a little bit of a horror story there in the second quarter and keep the ball alive. It will be 1st and 10 from the 28. And Kenton has been effective in at least converting the ball in this situation, but has only got 16 yards on the game so far. So we're hoping that, well, at least in future runs here, there will be a little bit more of runs from Kenton. He gets 6 here on 1st and 10, brought down by Jesus Kidd on the far right side of the field.
And I mean, that's the main difference between the two teams so far. The Royals have found an answer for the Texas rushing attack. I mean, they're averaging less than that just after that run, a little above 2 yards now a carry, whereas the Royals are averaging almost 10 yards a carry thanks to the Bumblebees' huge breakaway for 61 yards.
Yeah, one of the defenders got pancaked there, and it was Hollingsworth, the center, probably making that a little bit of an easier process for Kenton to get those 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 4 here coming up. From the 35, Ramblers in I formation, handing it off again. They have complete trust right now in Kenton, but that's going to be just short of the 1st down. 3-yard gain, tackled by Sandra Wheeler, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
And the Ramblers have to capitalize on this. The Montreal Royals are running a 3-4 set, and that is a benefit for the rushing attack, but they're not getting as many yards as they need to.
Yeah, these short gains are helping them clomp away perhaps at the Montreal defense, trying to wear them down. It is a strong suit of theirs. To go after the rushing defense is something that you would do if you were trying to wear down a team like the Royal, but it bears the risk that you have these 3rd down conversions that are quite scary. And as we get here to 3rd and 1, they've got 2 more tight ends again. It looks like they might go for the pass in this situation. Plantris is able to tackle, and that is broken up by Pat Snow. Falls incomplete. Milano trying to bring that in, unable to. And it'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, I don't like the setup there. They obviously went with a 2 tight end to fake a run, but one of the things that Royals have, even though they're not huge on interceptions and pass deflections, they do have a strong pair of cornerbacks. And when you bring two tight ends instead of wide receivers, you have no bad matchups then.
Yeah, and they will bring out the punting unit, which is an unfortunate end to what was a hard-fought 20-some yards for the Ramblers, and that was actually quite short punt as well. So
And a good return.
the Royal were able to get a good return off that about to the 46-yard line where they will take over. So that's beneficial for the Royal, not the kind of punt you wanted to get here in the second quarter, down 8 points. They will have to come up with another major stop on defense and hope that they can control some of this running game that's been leaking on the defensive side. So 1st and 10 for the Royal. We're about 12:22 left in the second quarter.
You have to wonder if the Ramblers defense is getting tired.
Sorry, we have our first penalty of the game on Dusty Redburner forming illegal formation penalty. We haven't had to talk much about the referees of this game, as their second straight refereeing game, and that's their first given out penalty. I was going to talk about this earlier, but now might be a great time to bring it up. The last time these two teams met was a penalty fest, both combining for 16 penalties alone. So it's surprising that we didn't get our first penalty here until the second quarter. But it will back up the Royal a little bit here. Probably 5-yard penalty, not major. Yeah, they will start now from the 41 instead.
Oh, there's plenty of time for more penalties.
And they hand it off to Lagustica, tackled immediately by Logan Vernon, the polar bear, out of Finland. And that will be 2nd and 15 for the Royal.
And see, the Ramblers are running a 4-3 base, which is definitely better for defending against the run. So they need to start going to Appleby to start picking apart their secondary.
Yeah, it bears some risks to put that many linebackers in the backfield since they have to bring in some people to fill up for the injured Mox Prowler. So we'll see if they run the 4-3 again here. That looks like they're opting for it. Lagustica handed off to the right, only gets a couple yards. That time is Hatman Chargaga with the tackle after a gain of 1. So they might have figured out Lagustica here on this drive.
Well, you have to start wondering how tired the Bees' legs are. I mean, that was not a long possession that he got to sit on the bench and recover.
Yeah, that is clearly maybe a factor here, as it will be 3rd and long now. And Appleby will go to pass to number 89. That was a short pass to Hughes, tackled by Serrano, who's been covering Hughes as closely as possible and manages to bring up them just short of the first down. So it will be a 3 and out for the Royal.
Yeah, and that penalty comes back to bite them. That would have been a first down had they not been pushed back 5 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. So Royals, Martinez coming out to punt. Sorry, that's Lopez. Martinez has been their long-term punter till this year. And that goes through the end zone for a touchback. So the Ramblers start from the 25. 10:48 left in the second quarter. The Ramblers survive that drive with a little bit of luck, but a lot of improvements on the defensive front, at least stopping the run. Will they continue that going forward, and will the offense be able to capitalize on this? 1st and 10 from the 25. Calder here looking determined. They hand it off immediately to Kenton for 3-yard gain. That's tackled by Wheeler. It'll be 2nd and 7. So from the 28-yard line, 2nd and 7. Calder looking a little bit more flustered on this play. Throws a quite risky pass, but it is complete. That's Milano getting her second pass of the game for 15 yards, brought down by Fox, but that is a first down for the Ramblers, out to the 44.
Yeah, first real life we're seeing from them since the first drive here with that long bomb.
I think that was basically a second option for Calder, but it worked out for them. They threw over the defender. It was a risky pass, but in the end of the day, that's what you pay your wide receivers for. Milano showing, of course, strength. If there was an injury that took place earlier, she's out again and fighting for the yards with her team. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers. Calder with the ball. He drops back and gets sacked by Wheeler, who is involved in the last 2 plays. And that is our first sack of the game for a loss of 7.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the Montreal Royals were last in the league in tackle for losses. I mean, pretty much the majority of their tackle for losses were sacks. Finally able to break through the line there. And back to Milano, she led the league and tied for leading the league in receiving touchdowns with 16 this year.
Yeah, and it almost undoes half of the gain that she had on that previous play, and it will be 2nd and 17 now for the Ramblers on this first major defensive play of the game. Up till now, it's been all about stopping the run, but in that case, they literally stopped the pass and the run, and the Ramblers will try to run it up the field down the middle, but Wheeler is still there, and she is getting her work cut out for her. They are knowing what to do here to the linebacker. But as a play, I don't know. 1 yard gain, it'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, I feel like they need to make a change in play style here. They're getting it done on the passing plays, and maybe that's because they're setting it up with the run, but their running game is just not going anywhere fast.
They are averaging about 2 to 3 yards per run, and Kenton is meeting a brick wall in terms of Abrams and Wheeler here. So it'll be 3rd and long. They've got the wide receivers out. Calder back to throw. That's a quick pass to the right, but it is broken up by Pat Snow. Milano couldn't get a hold of that one, and they will be punting here again.
Yeah, unfortunate, but that's what it leaves you with when you're that far away from a 3rd down. Your pretty much only option is to pass. I mean, you can go for a sneaky run like the Royals did previously on 3rd and 6, I believe, but 3rd and 15, only a crazy man would go for a run that far out.
And they had that pretty well covered. The safety was there as a secondary option if they needed to stop the ball from crossing the first goal.
Yeah, the safety was pretty much at the 1st down line because of how far back they were.
Yeah, so there was very little opportunity there. The Royal covered that perfectly. The Ramblers here will have to punt. And the punt gets off. A very good punt. Gets them back to about the 4-yard line. So it will be
Wow.
a 59-yard punt by Otis Cantrell, one of the best punters in the league, and no return. So the Royal will have to start from their own 4.
Yeah, they were hoping it was going to bounce into the end zone, but just it piddled out there and recovered by the kicking team. And after that 30-yard punt, that is a great way to come back out and actually get a bomb off.
Yeah, maybe that's the motivation the Ramblers will need on special teams to make something happen here. It'll be 1st and 10, though, with 8:35 left in the second quarter. The Royal get the ball back here on offense. So backed up into almost their own end zone. The Royal here hands it off immediately to Lagustica for about a half-yard gain. Vertanen is there to cover up the tackle immediately. 2nd down.
Yeah, they're just trying to prevent a safety here. If Appleby drops back in coverage, it has to be a quick pass. They can't afford to give up a safety.
So 2nd and 10, and we're seeing what I feel is a little bit of a wearing down of the running game by the Texas defense here as they hand off to the fullback this time, but gets swallowed up immediately for only really no gain here. Adelaide Gumberton there to break up the tackle. It will be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think the Royals are just trying to create enough space for their punter to safely get it off here by running it up the gut. I mean, it is a tough place to be right here, this close to the goal line.
And Cooper, the bottlenose dolphin, is not one of those species that you see in the running back position very often, but has been fundamentally not a member of the running team, but has a second touch of the game already, probably to give some break to the Bumblebee in Lagustica, but it's not working at the current moment. So it'll be 3rd and 9. We'll see if they go to the air here or if they're trying to run down the clock, as you mentioned. I could see both options being available to them. Pro set, wide receivers brought in. They are going to go for the pass. So that's Appleby trying to find somebody open, backing up a little bit, very closely, almost getting sacked there, but it is pass complete to Ellison, and Ellison is wide open in the backfield. keeping the ball going all the way out to the 42-yard line before brought down by the cornerback. And that is a huge gain for the Royal to get out of their end zone. First down.
Not only a huge gain, but a huge heartbreak for the defense. They had done everything they needed to do, got to 3rd down and 9. All they had to do was stop the ball short of the 13, and they'd get a turn of possession. But they just gave up a huge play there.
Yeah, Ellison, the American Mink, in their 9th year of the UFFL, manages to get their first pass, and it's a major one for 37. So 1st and 10. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was say you saw their that experience come into play as the play was breaking down and Appleby was rolling out to the right. That kept moving. Ellison kept the play alive, created space for Appleby to get him the ball.
Absolutely. I felt like there was a lot of good planning there on that play, and they managed to convert it. So 1st and 10 here, getting another pass off to Hughes, and that will be a first down pass, but there is a penalty on Montreal. Unnecessary roughness on Larry Severson. And Severson is not a player I'm used to hearing about. But it is
getting a little chippy down there then.
It is the tackle White Rhinoceros is a little bit anxious here in this. That's his 2nd penalty now on the Royal. So they will be backed up potentially around to their 30-some yard line. Major penalty. And it brings back a play that could have been a first down conversion. So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 38. They'll go to the air again. Oh, and they psyched out the defender. That is Ellison again. And this will be another huge play. It's down to the 35-30. The defense is having to catch up to the ball. Will they be able to do so before? No. They get to about the 18-yard line. But again, Ellison psyching out the defense. Another major first down.
Yeah, great stop and go route there, making it seem like he was going to come back, but just kept running up the field. And honestly, Serrano's having to do everything out there for the defense in terms of the passing game.
The Texas defense has to get closer to these wide receivers if they are going to make a change here. That is the first thing I would recommend. But we knew this coming in, that it would be a struggle for the Texas defense to keep a hold on these wide receivers. And the Royal may not be the best in the league when it comes to their passing game or their receiving game, but again, you don't get 34 touchdowns out of thin air. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line with about 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Appleby back to throw. Passes to Ellison, but that one is broken up incomplete. So they're good coverage by the cornerback. It will be 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 from the 18. Just under 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. They hand it off to the Gustica this time, and he is brought down after a 3-yard gain by the linebacker Osvaldo. It'll be 3rd and 7 from about the 15-yard line. So what do you think here? Are they going to go for the pass or the run here? They are in red zone area, and they have the lead. What would you do in this situation?
I feel like they're going to go with a drag route to the tight end, possibly here, just because they've been going out wide, stretching the sidelines with Ellison and Keaton. So I feel like this is the time to pull in a tight end, or it looks like they're going to go with the 4 wide receiver set.
Yeah, they've gone with the shotgun formation here, throwing out to the right side. It did go to one of their backup wide. That's Gary Bear. And Bear is tackled by the linebacker, but it is a first down, 1st and goal for the Royal.
Yeah, the rookie coming out big there.
Yeah, it's definitely the stage that you want to be on. That's probably going to be the biggest play for that young rookie's career, being able to see probably a very unhappy Ramblers having to make up some kind of coverage here for what I think the first shotgun formation that I've seen all game.
I'd agree. I mean, that's the first 4 wide receiver set we've seen tonight. They've really been running a 2 or 1 tight end set here.
So now 4.5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. It is 1st and goal for the Royal. Remember, they started from the 4-yard line here on this drive. Back to throw. Quarterback looks down the middle. Easy catch by Hughes, and that is a touchdown. Massive touchdown by Keontae Hughes. His first passing touchdown, and Appleby goes in for the body slam, almost knocks Hughes over.
I mean, they're about the same height, but there's quite a weight differential there. Gotta be careful. Don't injure your teammate during the celebration.
Do not destroy Keontae Hughes. I don't think his soul could take it, but that is a major score here because it is pulling away the Montreal Royal from the Ramblers. It will make the game, is with this extra kick being up good, 21-6 with 3.5 minutes left. We'll see if the Ramblers have the opportunity to do anything here. It has been a struggle, uphill climb, but hey, this is FurBowl VII. Anything can happen. Punt is off, and kick is off, and it goes to the end zone, is recovered by Knight, but only gets to about the 17-yard line where they will take over, and that's where they'll have to start.
Yeah, it's time to pull out the 2-minute drill, which means they cannot afford to run the ball here more than a couple times.
It'll be
Even with a
interesting.
2-minute warning.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that differentiates with what their play or game plan was up to this point. They've been running the ball quite consistently, but only for 2 or 3 yard gains. So if they try to get any yards through the running game, I don't know what that's going to do, other than run out the clock, which they can't really afford to do that much here. But
Well, keep in mind, Matt, that they do get possession in the second half. So if they score here, they can still be within this game.
well, they go out with the shotgun pass themselves, but they hand it off to Kenton and is tackled by Wheeler pretty soon after for a 2 yard gain. So psyching out the defense with a shotgun formation, but running the ball anyway, I don't know about that.
Well, I think they saw the 3-3-5 setup and they were hoping for a bit more of a gain there, and just they can't break by Wheeler at all or the catfish.
Yeah, Wheeler has been instrumental in keeping the Texas Ramblers, who are going to run the ball again, but only for a 2 yard gain, tackled by Gorman. This is not what they need at this time of the game. It'll be 3rd and 6. So the 3rd and 6, they've got 2 wide receivers out. And they will pass the ball here. Good protection so far. The ball gets passed to the right, and it is caught, but short. And that is not how the play, I think, was supposed to develop. The tight end getting that pass, but brought down just short of the first down. Do you think they'll go for it? I don't think so. They're too
No,
far
they
back.
can't. Not here. If they were more towards half field, maybe. And good job, Snow, being able to tackle the tight end, Kenny. That is not a matchup that favors the cornerback in most cases. So maybe that's what they were hoping for, is a better matchup, and that the tight end would be able to break free, but Snow dragging him to the ground.
Yeah, I think they were going with the quick plays, but it just was not the right plays for this situation. And now they are forced probably to punt here.
Yeah,
And they
and then
will.
it becomes the Royals 2-minute drill.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time on the clock. See how Cantrell punts this time after a 59-yarder last. This is another massive punt. That's another 59-yard punt from Cantrell.
Yeah, I don't blame them to overturn. They don't want to risk a fumble or anything here. They have a massive lead, 15 points. They just want to add to it with a field goal, maybe at best, is so their hope. I mean, a touchdown's obviously their hope, but a field goal would be great.
So 1st and 10 from the 15. And I do hand it off to Lagustica, who is tackled hard by Hesperia on the goal, on the line of scrimmage for no gain. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. So quickly here, the Royal have been getting it done through the air. They've had some success running the ball down the field. They currently command this game like they have the last 2 matchups. We talk about how they won FurBowl VI and they won the regular season game against the Ramblers. They have the Ramblers' name basically checked twice and perhaps thrice if the game keeps going the way it is right now as they run up the middle here for a short gain.
Yeah, and I just have to think that the defense, they're needing more talent on the defensive end if they want to make a push next season if they can't come back here, because I think their offense is struggling a little bit, but not the main problem that they're faced with.
They flagged Serrano there with a face mask. That is the Texas Ramblers defensive back. So they do get a 5-yard gain there and a first down shift. But if I were the Royal, I'm basically just taking that and going, okay, whatever, and continuing to run the ball like they are here. Yeah, they get another 2-yard gain here on the ground. And it looks like we're running out the clock into halftime.
I mean, I don't blame them. I'd like to see them at least throw the ball once, maybe when they're down to the 30-second mark, just to try to get in field goal range. But
well, you might see that here.
I understand.
They have 2 wide receivers out. No, they're going to hand it off to Lagustica.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. They're afraid of, either getting Appleby being sacked and fumbling the ball and it turning into an easy defensive touchdown, or even a jumped route turning into an easy interception for touchdown.
Now, based on the timing of that, they had to punt it, and there will be no first down, but it was only 7 seconds left on the clock. That did run out the clock there. Texas just choosing to take a knee, and that will do it for the first half of FurBowl VII. And the Montreal Royal are currently leading this game 21-6. The game has been all sorts of ups and downs. At one point, we thought maybe the Ramblers would be able to get a score in. There were a couple big wide receiving plays on the Ramblers side early, but then Milano went out temporarily. They got a little bit of progress done with defense, but most of the excitement has been through the passing game of the Montreal Royal and major gains from longtime running back, Bumblebee extraordinaire Vito Lagustica. So on that note, we will go into the half. We will see you on the other side. The halftime show is coming up shortly.
Where are you coming from, Normandy? Nobody knows who you are.
Wow, what a halftime show that was. I hope you all enjoyed it. Welcome back to Nashville. And we begin the second half here, knowing exactly what has happened in the last 45 minutes. It is the Montreal Royal leading the Ramblers here 21-6. It's been quite a game so far with, of course, 3 touchdowns, all coming from the Royal side. Ryan, what is your take so far on the action?
Oh, well, the Ramblers have to score on this opening possession. They have been stifled on offense. The first quarter looked like they had something, just weren't able to fully convert, but then the second quarter fell apart for them, and they cannot afford to go 3 and out or even have a long drive here. Anything, even a field goal at this point, I feel like is a win for the Royals defense. So the Ramblers have to go. They have to be aggressive. They need to get a touchdown. I would like them to move away from the run game. It has worked, at least in the sense of a couple yards, but not generating first downs.
Yeah, they've struggled on the running game. I think they know that to an extent. They've been in some ways successful at wearing down the Royal front line defense, but the linebacker Sander Wheeler has been amazing so far at stopping those runs, and you see it in the total yards so far, which is 127 for the Ramblers and 257 for the Royal. 100 of those yards alone come from Vito Lagustica on the ground, so they will have to come up with a strategy to stop the run. They did manage some of that going into the half here, and in the second quarter, early on, they stopped a couple drives for the Royal. If they do more of that in the second half and force the pass, they will at least have some organized plan to perhaps turn this game around.
Yep, and like I said, they need to have a turn of momentum here if they have a hope of winning this game.
So here the Royal kickoff to the Ramblers to start the second half, the third quarter, and the Ramblers will take this possession and hopefully they will get
Hopefully
something
get
out
more
of
than 25 yards, or they'll just take a touchback because
well,
they've been short of the 20 twice now. 3 times now.
3 times now. That was Milano there with the return and only got to the 13-yard line, swallowed up pretty quick. That's well, they're going to have to figure out something from that 13-yard line. They will start their first drive of the second half. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers. Calder out there in the I formation, scans the field. They will go to the passing game, and they do throw it to Kenton. But again, Wheeler has been one-on-one with Kenton all night long and manages to stop that pass after a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4.
But now that gets them back into the running game. They're close enough they can go to the run.
Yeah, you pass to the running back itself, and then you wear down the running back in more ways than one.
You run with the wide receiver. Do the jet sweep from behind.
Back in the eye again, and they do hand it off to Kenton. Goes to the right this time, and just short of the first down, brought down by Jesus Kidd, the other linebacker. It will be 3rd and 1. And another 3rd down conversion that they'll be looking up into early here in the second half of the game. So 3rd and 1. Big play for the Ramblers here. Royal will want to stop them. They hand it off quite fast as we expected, and they do get the first down. Chris Herron on the stop there. But again, crawling through just enough to get a first down conversion. They should be going more to the air than they are. We'll see if that changes.
They should. I mean, they've had 2 big pass plays. The first play of the game was a huge, I think, 38-yard play, and then they had another one, 15 yards to Milano. Obviously, that was the one that we saw her leave the game due to an injury to her tail, but they should continue to attack the air.
Yeah, I have to wonder if there's something else going on extracurricularly. But they do have a pass play here on 1st and 10. Plenty of time. Calder scanning the field. Receivers are well covered, throwing into the middle there. And, man, the play gets nullified. The catch is completed, but there's a face mask on Abrams. So that's going to be an automatic first down for the Ramblers.
I feel like you jinxed them. You made the point of them getting the first penalty in the second quarter, and ever since then, it's like the flags have come loose from the refs' belts.
Well, I think Palantris was sensing that something like that was going to happen because he bobbled the pass a little bit, but then finally brought it down just enough. And the Catfish's fins were just in the wrong spot. From this point of view, well, I don't know about that.
You gotta be careful bobbling the ball, though. That's how you generate interceptions, and then your quarterback gets very upset at you.
Yeah, so they luck out that time. 1st and 10 from the 38. Quick pass to number 84. That's Sam Mansfield, the second string wide receiver, does get the first down there. And they are in Royal territory for the first time, it feels like, in over a quarter.
Yeah, and here we have it. Calder's getting into the groove. Drop back. The veteran is finding his stride. Continue to go to him. And now, honestly, you can go back to the run occasionally. Get some chip yards. Get a shorter field to have to pass down.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just kind of a psych out to make the Royal think that they were going to slide back into the same old running plays to start this game. But they've had a couple good pass plays here, and they are at the 46 of the Royal for the first time in a while. 1st and 10, they do hand it off to Kenton for a 1-yard gain. And sure enough, Miss Wheeler there to stop the play. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, I feel like they need to disguise the run a little bit better than that. I mean, they brought in the jumbo tight end, 2 tight end set, which it gives away the plan pretty much. I mean, I think it's a little too obvious. So you could go for some play action maybe, which we haven't seen much of yet.
And I think with certain players, you underestimate exactly how much of a wall they become. Sandra Wheeler is a 6'3", 350-pound black bear. She is massive, but you might not see that under all that fur.
Well, that and you have the Catfish standing next to her at 300 pounds,
Yeah,
6'3" as well, I
it's a
believe.
frightening front line that they have to face as 2nd and 9 gets broken up there by Abrams. The pass to Milano. Milano's been struggling a little bit here in this game, catching the ball.
Considering got broken up by all players, Abrams there.
So 3rd and 9, and they have to convert on this. Calder back to pass, throws to the left. That's Knight out there. Knight does catch it and psychs out the defender down to the 25, still going past the 20, into the red zone and down to the 13-yard line finally for a 32-yard gain. Another major pass to the Dragon, finally brought down by Hunt. But that will be 1st down and 10 from the 13 for the Ramblers. This is a good drive they've got going.
Yeah, and it's coming down to the receiver stepping up here. I mean, that's, I think, Jacqueline's 2nd catch.
It's her 2nd
that's
or
her
3rd catch.
No,
Yeah.
it's her 2nd. First one was for 38. This one was for 32. You got to go back to her more. Let her generate these long receptions. She's getting it done with her elusiveness, not necessarily Calder's passing.
Well, I think Isaac Hunt is a little bit of a force to be reckoned with and has been providing really excellent coverage of Knight all night. I didn't even see what I saw there. That was an amazing thing I just said. Anyway, 1st and 10.
I was just going to let you keep talking.
From the 12. Passing again to Knight. And, sorry, looks like it was a false start there. So, again, 1st and 10 from the 12. Passing to Knight, complete for a 7-yard gain. Finally brought down. But it was a lucky catch there. She almost lost it. Again, just what I was saying earlier, Hunt's coverage has been quite excellent, and I think that's been a little bit of a point of contention, but she provided some elusiveness on that last 32-yard gain, and she's coming up here big now as we get within the 5-yard marker of perhaps the Ramblers' first touchdown of this game.
Yeah, and this is when you bring the running back in. Keaton, this is where they need to step up.
Yeah, they're at the 5-yard line. The first down marker is at the 2.5-yard line, and then they have another 3 plays potentially from there that they could use up to get into the end zone.
Oh, they have to go for it for 4 here. They can't afford a field goal.
Well, it is 2nd and 3 nonetheless. From the 5, the Ramblers are in the pro set formation. They are going to go to the pass game, but they do pass it to Kenton, who runs unopposed, and that is a touchdown for the Ramblers. Carice Kenton through the air from Calder gets the first touchdown for the Ramblers, and they are finally on the board. The point after is good.
Yeah, but they still find themselves down by 8 here, so they will have to go for a 2-point at some point, lest they get a field goal between now and the next touchdown.
Yeah, the 8-point dynamic is certainly an interesting one. It means that if you get another touchdown as the Ramblers, you will have to either go for it on a 2-point conversion or take the extra point, but then get the ball back a second time. So it becomes a really difficult challenge. If they don't get the 2-point conversion on another touchdown, theoretically speaking, they would have to then perhaps go for a field goal later and go up by 1. But this is all in the hopes that the Royal don't come out here again and score right away. So 21-13, the Ramblers kick off. It goes through the end zone for a touchback. So we will take over at the 25-yard line. The Royal will start. So 1st and 10, with about 10 minutes left in the third quarter, the Royal take the I formation and are warmed up to get this game underway yet again. Up through the middle, though, Chargaga is there to stop Lagustica for only a 1-yard gain and drives him to the ground. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, and this is when we need the Royals to switch to a bit more of a pass game, I think. Vito has carried them through the first half, but he's starting to run on empty here.
Yeah, and I would say, too, that the Royal have the weapons necessary to go through the air as they do on this 2nd down. But it is intercepted by Herbert Blunt. The pass from Appleby is intercepted by, Frederic Boulet at the 30-yard line and returned. Really not returned so much, but that is the first. Oh, that is tragic for the Royal. First turnover of the game, and the Ramblers will get the ball back at the 28-yard line.
I take it back. Go for the running game. Can't intercept the ball. Don't listen to the Peacock.
Oh, Appleby is so frustrated with himself right now. That's Francois Boulet coming up with that interception, a major play here that could impact the outcome of this game. A little information about who Boulet is, because he's not one of the linebackers that would normally be playing, but because of Max Prowler's injury, he's come out, and he is in his 2nd year from Canada. The Otter is here to make a difference, but against a team, the local team, ouch. So I wonder what
and sets them up in great field position.
So I wonder what the Québécois think about their own friendly foe here, as the Ramblers now will get the ball back within the 28 yards to the end zone. Perhaps here for another score. Even a field goal here would be useful, but of course they will hopefully get more than that. 1st and 10, 9:28 left in the third quarter. Texas now with the ball again, and they will go through the air, and that gets intercepted. Oh my God, that is now caught by Claudio Fox, and the bar here. Oh man. And you hear the crowd absolutely going crazy. That is 2 interceptions in a row. Claudio Fox now for the Royal coming up huge and returns that ball for 44 yards. Sorry if the pause confusion there, but it almost looked for a second like that ball had touched the ground.
Oh, no, the refs aren't looking like they're going to review it, but all I can say is Appleby owes Claudio a nice steak dinner because he just completely turned the tables and made up for Appleby's previous mistake.
Oh my gosh, that is a huge turnover, even more huge than the last one, because not only does Royal get that ball back, but they are 44 yards down the field further to the 30-yard line. Now they are within field goal range on their end of the field. Man, I'm almost speechless. It's very rare you see 2 back-to-back interceptions.
Well, especially considering the Royals are the worst intercepting team in the league. They had the fewest interceptions this year.
So now the Royals offense comes back out onto the field, and Keontae Hughes does catch the ball for a 1st down. Excellent passing play from Appleby this time. A good read, and DeLeon stops that play from developing any further, but not before a 1st down is made in the 15-yard line of the Ramblers defense. Sorry, I'm still shocked from the prior events that have happened here.
Look, it was just a really long pass play to Claudio Fox. That's all that happened. Appleby to Fox. Let's just go with that.
Oh, for one play, the Ramblers looked like they had an opportunity here as they do hand it off to Lagustica and is able to get a 9-yard gain. So that will make it 2nd and 1, but now they are within the 10-yard line. So if they get another set of first downs here, that would be huge towards getting this game even more into the lead for the Royal side. 2nd and inches from the 5-yard line. The Royal pass it to Lagustica and is able to get a short gain, but that will not be enough for the first down conversion. So it'll be 3rd and inches. So 3rd and barely any distance at all. Appleby back, gives a play away with his eyes, and it's broken up, incomplete by Francois Boulet, the guy who intercepted the ball earlier, comes up big here again on a 3rd down stop. Would the Royal go for it or take the field goal is the question now coming up.
I say go for it. I mean, 4th and inches. Even if you turn the ball over, you're putting your opponent within their 5-yard line.
Ooh, but
they have struggled.
It is an 8-point lead, though, because if you do not get this conversion, you end up giving the ball back to a team that, with one more touchdown, would be right back where we started.
You're not wrong. They could create a 2-possession situation with the field goal, but I feel like the Montreal Royals should be aggressive here and really put them out of contention.
Yeah, so Appleby talking with the coach right now to come up with what they're going to do. Running back out to the field, and they will go for the field goal. And it is easily good, 22-yarder from Tyler Kim. That's their first field goal score. So now the Montreal Royal will be up 24-13 with about 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. What do you think about that? Yeah, what do you think about not going for it?
I mean, it is the safe play, and what I was thinking in the sense that they had an opportunity there to absolutely destroy the confidence of the defense. Uh, Obviously, they just made a huge play and interception, and then to immediately have it go the other way and have the Royals return an interception for almost 40 yards. The defense was absolutely gutted. And then I think the Royals had an opportunity there to really put the knife into Texas's gut and put them out of the game.
Yeah, I think the action plan there was to take the opportunity and just make it a 2-possession game yet again, rather than try to do something foolish, not get the first down conversion, and keep it technically, possibly a 1-possession game. So in the end, it's still pretty good for them. They have an 11-point lead here as the Ramblers return it back to the 26 this time. So there's your big Rambler return that you've been also hoping for from Jackie
All
Knight.
of 1 yard, 1 yard further than the touchback.
Hey, they give him a little bit more than that. It's about a half yard more. Give him a break. It's 1st and 10. They pass it to Mansfield, who had that huge play earlier, tackled by Wheeler yet again. She's there for what feels like her 15th tackle of the game after an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 coming up. So the Black Bear proving to be extremely mobile for the Royal. As 2nd and 2, they will go through the air again. Quick pass to Knight, and that one does fall incomplete. That's her first drop of the game. Isaac Hunt there on the coverage.
But as you see there, that if she had caught that ball, it would have been just her and the cornerback. The free safety stuck dead center in the middle of the field would have had to have caught up to the Dragon to tackle her if she had made the break.
Yeah, that was a potential for a big gain, but at the same time, it was a difficult pass to come down with. Arguably, it is now 3rd and 1. And we'll see if they do elect to hand it off to their running back for those typical 2-yard gains that they've been getting all game, or if it will be another passing play here, as they do need to get downfield and fast to keep up with the Royal. They do elect to pass it. It gets into the hands of Milano for a 7-yard gain. That will be a first down.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have got the gut there, but a big pass play, 7 yards, helps them out more than a 1 or 2 yard run.
Yeah, the Royal had good coverage there. It was just the effort from Milano to finally bring that one in. And Now they start from the 43, 1st and 10. For Texas, Calder, backed pass, looks over the middle and finds number 84, that's Mansfield. To the right, that's a first down, 15-yard gain, finally brought down by Pat Snow. That's 2 first downs in a row, and they are getting back into the groove of things through the air.
Oh yeah, after that interception, I'm glad to see Calder's not shying away from the passing game.
Now, with less than 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, Texas electing to continue to pass the game, or pass the plays, and that one is caught by Jackie Knight, but it looks like there might be a penalty on this one. And that's a huge penalty, actually, on the Royal. Tim Gorman, unnecessary roughness. Yeah, that's going to be a first down for the Ramblers. Not through the air this time, but by penalty yet again.
Yeah, that's the 4th penalty for the Royals tonight.
Yeah.
And it's definitely leaning towards them in terms of giving up free yards.
Yeah, if there's one thing you want to fault the Royal for on so far, it's that they have not been playing cleanly. At least in the sense that they've been trying really hard to stop these wide receivers and coming up short based on, easily preventable things that will move the Ramblers down to the 20-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Now, they do hand it off to Kenton this time, but he's brought down quite quickly for a 1-yard gain. We will go right into 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 8, sorry, from the 19. Calder back to throw. The ball is caught by Sam Mansfield, and the tackle is made. That's a 5-yard gain. So Mansfield getting involved here in the third quarter here with a couple major passes. Keeps the drive alive, but it will be 3rd down coming up. So 3rd and 5. Calder back to throw. Gives the play away with his eyes. Has to move to the right. Moving back to the left. And finds Jackie Knight for the score. Touchdown Ramblers.
I say hopefully that going for the field goal doesn't come back to haunt the Royals. If this field goal or this extra point is good, Texas will be back within 4.
Yeah, that is a huge score for the Ramblers late here in the third quarter. Gets them within a single score of the game and makes this a competition worth your time and mine. But Jackie Knight there, of course, she's always going to have some sort of crazy celebration. I'm sure that will be outlined later. But for now, 13-yard pass to Jackie. I loved the drop of that play. Even if Calder was not necessarily being very sneaky about it, Jackie got the space necessary from Hunt, and this time it was for 6. And they are going to go for it for 2 to try and make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, either way, they have to score a touchdown if they made the extra point or fail this 2-point conversion. So I don't blame them for going for it here at all.
So it's 24-19 now. We will see what happens here on the 2-point conversion. Lined up with a 2 tight end jumbo. And the Ramblers will hand it off to Kenton, and he is brought down for a loss. Ouch. Jetty Abrams, the catfish, on the stop there, and that will keep the score. The difference is a 5-point game.
Yeah, I mean, either way, if they'd gone for the extra point, 4-point game, they would still need to have scored a touchdown. So I don't blame them for going for that. Trying to get it within a field goal, but now everything is on the Royals. They cannot afford to let the Ramblers continue this momentum that they've come out in the second half with.
Yeah, 13 unanswered points here in the third quarter have allowed the Ramblers to get within 5. The Royals still hold the lead here. They do get a decent return from Keontae Hughes here to start their first down at the 33-yard line, the 34-yard line. But they've been quite conservative in this half, and they will have to change things up a little bit if they want to keep this lead to themselves. It is now technically the most points the Ramblers have scored against the Royal in any game this season and since the last FurBowl Here, big pass on first
Oh.
and 10. That's number
Oh.
89. That is Keontae Hughes getting wide open, and I don't know if he's going to get caught. Down to the 15, down to the 10. This was the big play they needed. Almost there and not quite enough. 63-yard play from Appleby to Keontae Hughes, first and goal.
That is massive. We saw the streak route going, even double team. They could not stop the big leopard.
The leopard managing to show exactly why you got to get a big cat to run those plays like that down the left side of the hash lines, finding a spot open from Appleby, manages to turn this game into potentially a 31-19 lead, pending the next couple plays here. But what a huge play for the Royal to get that pass off. Brilliant design here. First and goal.
And give props to the O-line. They gave Appleby so much time.
So Appleby back to pass on the first and goal play here. Easy pass into the middle. That's Herbert Blunt. I'd have to speak over the crowd booing yet again. I get the sense it's like 90% Ramblers fans here tonight, which is unfortunate for the Royal that they weren't able to travel over the border. But hey, that's another touchdown here, and that will make it 30-19. And with the extra point, 31.
Yeah, the game is going to put so much pressure now on the offense. They have had no time to recover from that last long drive. And here they are watching the Montreal Royals put up, what was that, a 2-play drive?
Yeah, that was only 2 plays and probably less than a minute of game. And Herbert Blunt, the backup tight end, managing to bring that in, gives Appleby his second touchdown pass of the game, and the Royal their fourth touchdown overall. And we still got 1 quarter left of this game. So we know things can change, but that puts Texas right back at square one. And if you think about it, missing that 2-point conversion loses them a point here. So that quick turnaround from the Royal keeps things safely and securely in their paws as they kick off here to the Ramblers. The Ramblers getting a good return back down up to the 37-yard line. How about that one? Are you okay with that?
I am more than happy with that. I was a little concerned considering how far they received it into the end zone. That maybe makes up for like the other 2 that were inside the 20.
All right. Well, first and 10 from the 37. The Ramblers here have just a little over a minute left. It looks like they are concretely secure with running the clock out, but they do a quick turnaround here is 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain on the ground, and Kenton handing off ball to Kenton again will lose yards for the Ramblers. So it'll be 3rd and long with a minute left. From the 35, and they will have to go into the area. They pass it quickly to Milano, but it falls incomplete. And just like that, it's 3 and out. Strange decision plays there yet again.
Yeah, like I said, that was. You feel like the offense has lost a lot of their belief, ever since that turnover.
Yeah, and again, Cantrell punting with the wind sails the ball into the end zone for a touchback. It's an interesting set of plays that you would follow up a 2-play drive down the field by the Royal with a couple running plays and a small yardage pass when you have an opportunity to get the ball and do something with it that you've proven you can do, as Appleby's first pass on this drive gets broken up incomplete. With 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, they will get one more play off, but here again, Montreal getting flagged, and this time it's on Vito Lagustica for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the takedown by Gumberton and got in his face, and the refs are going to throw the flag on that and push them further back.
There's another huge penalty on the Royal. They are shooting themselves in the footpaw with these huge unsportsmanlike penalties. I'm sure that's going to be part of the write-up in the end of this series of play. You don't usually see a lot of that unprofessionalism on the field. I'm a little bit taken aback by it. Gumberton's clearly not happy either. But what are you going to do when you're down 12 points? So it'll be third and 22 with 12 seconds left. They had to stop the ball there for the penalty. They will get one more playoff here, and it's going to be a pass, clearly, when you're in third down territory. So Appleby back to
you could
throw.
kneel.
I suppose you could, but that would be kind of sacrificial in a third quarter situation. The pass to Solzback there, though, only gets them 5 yards. That's his second pass of the day, tackled by Boulay.
Yep. And now they have to punt unless they go for a fourth down 15 yards from their goal.
Well, that finally takes us into the fourth quarter. And the score, 31-19. Royals do hang on to that lead, if not by the claws of their paws and the sharp teeth of their muzzles, barely keeping the Ramblers. But at the end of the day, it is whoever scores the most points. And the Ramblers are facing an uphill climb, even though they had 13 unanswered points to start out this third quarter.
Yeah, it looked like for a second there the Texans were going to Texas Ramblers were going to get opportunity to take the lead, but the Royals unwilling to let it slip from their paws.
So we will take a quick break here, and when we come back, it will be the final quarter of FurBowl VII. I will need a drink of water in that meantime. See you on the other side.
Il suffit de quelques frictions avec Orangina aux extraits naturels de fruits pour rendre mon poil plus soyeux et brillant. Orangina, naturellement.
Welcome back to FurBowl VII, Nashville. And we've got the last 15 minutes of gameplay here. And I'll tell you what, anything can happen, but at the current moment, it's looking like the Montreal Royal will defend their championship up 31-19 over the Texas Ramblers. Ryans, what's your thoughts on how third quarter played out? It looked for a second like the Ramblers were going to come back and turn things around, but then a late touchdown from the Royal kind of discombobulated the team again.
Oh no, what discombobulated them was the immediate counter interception by the Royals. And not only the fact that they got intercepted, but they gave up a 40-yard return on said interception. They completely went from being on the Montreal's 30 to having to defend from their own 30. And honestly, from that point, I feel like both the offense and the defense were deflated. Obviously, the defense had just made a huge play, and they ended up essentially being wiped away, and a huge negative for them. They had a tougher place to defend from, and even though it became a field goal in the end, you still have to imagine that the mental fortitude of the Ramblers is being tested here tonight.
Yeah, they've got things going just enough to get a couple scores in that third quarter, including a good 13-yard pass touchdown to their major receiver, Jackie Knight, who's close, if not over 100 yards at this point through the air. But on that second down conversion, failed to convert it. And then the Royal came back out and 2 plays later had offset that score entirely. So it's a little bit of this matchup of mentality now. How do you keep strong knowing you're down by 12 for the second year in a row, technically speaking, in the FurBowl, down with the fourth quarter left being your only option? You're going to have to take some risks. It'll be interesting to see how both teams here play out the rest of their quarters here. Now, we do start off this fourth quarter with the Royal punting back to the Ramblers, who, punting into the win this time, take advantage of a short 31-yard punt returned by Kenton, actually, for a 6-yard gain. So they will start from within the Royals' side of the field at the 44.
Yeah, got good pressure on the punter there, and he just had to get it off. And great field position. They have to convert with a touchdown here, though, down by 12. I mean, they can get a field goal and another field goal and then a touchdown, but that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work for a team that has not been terribly consistent. I don't know what's going on with the visual here, so I'm going to ignore what just happened there. But the pass did get it fell incomplete to Palanteris there on 1st and 10. Sorry again for the glitch there. It looked like there were Royal players camping in the background.
So you're saying that the Ramblers are seeing ghosts on the field?
I think that's what that means because, again, Palanteris unable to catch that first down pass makes it 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line for the Ramblers. We'll see what they come up with here on this 2nd down drive. It is a shotgun formation, so they are going through the air. Calder back to throw, finds an open man, number 84, that is Mansfield, and passing down the first down marker gets to about the 30-yard line before the big bear comes in and slams him into the turf for a 12-yard gain. That is first down, though, for the Ramblers. Good play there.
Yeah, if that had been another incomplete pass, you would just have to feel for Calder there. 3rd and 10, unable to move forward, but not that case. They have a first down.
Yeah, Calder, outside of that interception earlier in today's game, has been playing considerably well given the circumstances of the Montreal Royals defense. 19 of 26 through the air, about 200 yards, and there was that one sack that I don't necessarily always expect a quarterback to be sacked, but it does happen. They do hand it off to Kenton here on 1st and 10 for a short gain. And we do talk about, too, the fact that one of the factors that the score is the way it is right now is that Carice Kenton has not had any significant run in this game. I think the longest run from the Texas Ramblers side has been like 7 or 8 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And that will have an impact on whether or not you can make the plays that you want to at the times that you need them as they pass through the air to Milano here on 2nd and 10 for an 8-yard gain. That will make it 3rd down and 2 with about 13 minutes left in this game.
And as you see, under an average of 2 yards a carry, they have been absolutely destroying Keaton at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the Panther Fox is not having the best game of his career tonight, and that's been in large part due to the defense, the line, the front line, Abrams and Wheeler really commanding the Ramblers tonight. 3rd down and 2. We will see what they come up with here. This is a big play for the Ramblers. Let's sit back and watch. But not before a neutral zone infraction on Wheeler. Moves the chains potentially. I think that's what just happened here. So yeah, it's not quite clear what just happened other than there was a penalty here, and there's another penalty that gets nullified on Texas this time for holding. So I'm sorry here. It looks to be a little bit more of a confusion here as to what down it is.
I think it's reverted back to first down at this point.
Yeah,
but we'll see on the next play.
I can't
agree
read
the line markers.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what just happened there, but it is back to 3rd down.
No. A legal formation, I think that was half the distance.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so,
it was 3rd and 1, and then they got pushed back.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, and then 3rd and 6 now. So, thanks for straightening that out. You're the one here who's supposed to be the the one trying to learn into the football, and I'm the one caught up by the strangeness of the game. But that pass gets incomplete, and now they are 4th and 6 at the 26. That's a difficult place to decide what to do when you're down
this much, yeah.
This much, in the 4th quarter.
Well, big props to Pat Snow. As I mentioned at the beginning of the game, Royals were second worst in the league in pass deflections, but Snow has been getting the paw on the ball and getting in the way of the receivers having an easy time here tonight.
Yeah, Pat Snow has been pretty effective so far. 4th down, will they go for a field goal or try to convert here? I could see either way. And they do go for the field goal. Interesting call. This will be to make it 22-31, a 9-point game. And the field goal is good. So that helps a little bit. But now we have the awkward score of 31-22. Oh my goodness.
What are you doing? What have you broken?
Man, I'm not.
Well, either way, I'm going to give props to Pike. That is the 3rd long field goal he has had to kick here tonight.
Oh boy. My screen. I apologize for whatever is happening technically. We got to fire somebody here. It is a kickoff that does get returned by the Royal out to the 40, it looks like. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Royal, and then there was some sort of penalty. Again, I apologize for that. That was me trying to, I don't know, switch some boards around here in the booth. I need to keep my paws off this shit. 1st and 5 from the 40. And I'm sorry for cutting you off, Ryan. That will not happen again.
No, you're good. It was hilarious. It was fun to watch.
I don't know for the people at home. They might be suing the FSPN later for the footage here that we've created here tonight. 1st and 5. I need to talk about something else, maybe this football game. Appleby almost lost the ball there on the pick out, but it is number 83 is open, and that will be an easy 1st down after the penalty. Out to Raphael Ellison. Tackled by Raphael Rayleigh. So Raphael on Raphael. So out to the 48-yard line, they will take another good 1st down with about 12 minutes left in this game. And a quick handoff to Legustica. Legustica finding some space on the left side. A gain of 4 yards there. It looks like Asperia is the tackler. And their goal, of course, here is to run out the play clock. So definitely you will see Legustica here. The Ramblers will need to get some major stops to get the ball back and make up some of these 9-point scores. It's still a 2-score game, which is the unfortunate aspect of this game at the moment.
Yeah, like you said, they're going to run the ball as much as they can afford to, but they still got to get 1st downs.
Yeah, it was a 2nd down there. They ran it to the right this time, but only gained about a yard there. So it'll be 3rd and 5 from the 47-yard line of Texas, basically midfield. To convert here would be huge for the Royal. Let's see what happens. They come out with 2 tight ends, and they are going to pass up through the middle. That is Herbert Blunt catching the pass there, and after a gain of 9, that is his 1st down. So 3rd down conversion.
Another 2 minutes off the clock, easy.
Yeah, 10 minutes left now in the final quarter of this game, and the Royal are moving downfield. They are about at the 38-yard line to start this 1st down drive. Not to start the drive, but to start the markers here. 1st and 10. Handing off to Cerveza. It's her 2nd run of the game and the 1st major run of the game, a gain of 6, brought down by Hat Chicago on that play. 2nd and 4 coming up. We talk about Cerveza being the MVP of the last FurBowl. She will probably not be this time around, but it's nice to see that they did get the ball off to her. That pass to Hughes is for 6 yards and is another 1st down. The Royal moving down the field quite well here with 9 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, they don't want to burn the clock. They want another score.
For sure. And that rush, they hand it off. They give Logistica a break here. It looks like they hand off to Kent Strunk, backup running back, only gets a yard, but it takes time off the clock. Why not? It's 1st down. 2nd and 9 coming up from the 24-yard line of the Texas Ramblers. And Legustica back out. He gets the ball, but it is a loss of 2 yards this time, actually. Tackled up quite well. Ramblers here need to stop them on 3rd and 11. So Legustica getting the ball again. It looks pretty similar to the last play design, and that will go nowhere. So 3 and out. After a couple conversions, the Montreal Royal will have the opportunity here to get a field goal and make it 34-22 if they so choose. And from the 27, they will bring out the field goal unit. The field goal is up. And Tyler Kim makes it through. The kick is good. It is 34-22. Montreal remains on top, making it a 12-point game yet again.
Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't really do much, though, because it's still a 2-possession game either way.
Yeah, in some ways, it's kind of a victory for Texas in that it wasn't more than a field goal, but at the same time, Texas is still working back exactly from where they were at the beginning of this quarter with half the time to work with. We are 7.5 minutes away from the end of this game, And the score is 34-22. Texas will start with the ball from their 29-yard line after a 29-yard return by the Kangaroo. 1st and 10. So quick handoff to the right. Kenton not getting much of anything there. Tackled quite quickly by Tevin Matsby. And here again, running on 1st and 10 at this point in the game, not a wise move.
I mean, considering the Royals have not gone away from their 3-4 setup and it's still working, the running game just needs to, I don't want to say be abandoned, but it needs to be used more sparingly.
I think they're used to using the running game quite heavily in these types of matchups, but it has not really resulted in any kind of big difference. They've had way more success through the air, so it'll be interesting to see. They do go to the I formation here on 2nd and 10. Calder back to throw, and it is caught by Knight. Knight does get extremely close to she did get the first down conversion there, right on the line of the 40-yard line, and that will be at least enough to convert on downs, but they've got 60 yards to go here.
Yeah, and a minute less on the clock now thanks to that.
So we get set up for the first down here, and there's a penalty on Wheeler.
12 men on the field.
Yeah, there's 12 men on the field. I think she's just really excited to be out there having the game of her life tonight.
Well, I think they were trying to make a substitution, and they just didn't realize that they didn't pull everyone they needed to.
So that will stop the clock at 6 minutes and 22 seconds left, and give an extra 5 yards again to the Ramblers. Again, we talk about the Royals' big mistake, at least at this point in the game, has been penalties, but it hasn't resulted much in terms of score, other than perhaps a couple touchdowns from the Ramblers have been gifts via these penalties. Otherwise, it would still be even more of a difference in points. So Calder back to throw, finds number 81, but it does fall. That's Liam Plantris. Has not had a great game this tonight. Another incomplete pass there up the middle. Good coverage from the Royals defense. So 2nd and 5 from the 44. Calder back to throw. Tries another pass that gets incomplete. And Plantris is needing to be pulled out at this point, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing them very tight, and it's just not working out right now. Go back to Knight. I understand that Knight's being heavily covered, but she has been the difference maker here tonight, along with Milano.
Yeah, Plantris has had a pretty good season this year with 419 yards on 55 catches, but it's also had 3 drops and 5 last year. So in that term, has not been the most effective tight end in the league, which at one point was thought that Plantris was going to be this big name for the Ramblers. And of course, Knight, we know, has taken over that role quite handily. They do go to Plantris there again, but there is a penalty on the field on Montreal. Roughing the passer. And again, a huge mistake here on the Royal side.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty right there.
Calder getting up gingerly after that. You do have to expect that you will take some hits in a game like this, and in a game that has this much contention when you're down 12 points. But the Royal as a whole have been making these mistakes tonight. I guess they don't feel like that's quite a problem. There's going to be another penalty on the field for a neutral zone infraction that moves the ball to the 29-yard line to start. So they just went from about midfield to having or thirding that distance, getting an extra 20 yards for free.
And Montreal giving it away here. If they give up a touchdown, that would be massive.
Yeah, they cannot afford to do that in this game. As 1st and 10 here, another handoff. And Kenton doesn't find anything on the ground. I can understand why they would do that on a 1st and 5. There's really not much to lose, and it's a short distance, but they have not had success running the ball. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 30. And Calder looking to back out here. seems determined to get this ball off. There's only 2 options and gets sacked by Jetty Abrams. That's the second sack of the game and the first for the Catfish for a loss of 5. Back to the 35-yard line.
And they can't walk away with a field goal here. There's just not enough time to get 2 possessions in.
Yeah, so coming up, huge play for the Ramblers. They need to convert on first down. Or they need to convert this third down here for a first, minimally, to stay within contention here. 12 points are the difference here. If they get a touchdown on this drive, there is a small chance that they can pull something together here at the end. But we are close to the end of the fourth. We have 5 minutes left in this game. Things are getting exciting, Ryan.
All the pressure comes out of this play right here.
So here we are. The pass is off quick and well covered. That is to Plantris again. They are trusting this tight end to come up big, but that's only to take back 4 of the 6 yards that they lost on that sack. They will be short.
They have to go. They can't go for a field goal here. If they go for a field goal here, I feel like they're playing too passively. They need 2 scores still.
Yeah, there is a 2-score game. I'm going to really get secretly emotional if they do go for the field goal here. It will be one of the strangest calls.
They're going to ruffle my feathers, and they
course
ruffled my feathers. They did it. It's still a 2-possession game either way. I mean, if they go for a onside kick, I mean, I'd be surprised.
And it's no good. Massive.
Pike was great all game, and then misses here.
This is not even the first time that he's missed a field goal that matters in a FurBowl, and not even on a play that a lot of people will be coming back to and saying this should have been a 4th goal conversion. Oh my goodness. That is humongous.
It is. The Royals just need to burn clock here. They know Texas needs 2 touchdowns. If they could burn even a minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock, I think they are walking home with their second championship trophy.
It would be upsetting to the Ramblers fans who made this trip tonight. I'm quite surprised by that call. They must know something I don't. But
they're
anyway,
afraid to lose. I think they're too afraid to lose.
It's 3.5 minutes left. Appleby is forced to pass on the second down here to keep the ball going, and it is a first down conversion by Sulzbach. That's his 3rd catch of the game, and that's a 13-yard gain to keep the chains moving. Another big moment, not able to be stopped by the Ramblers' last place passing defense. And I hate to say it, but I think that was the key turning point. Not only do you miss the field goal, but you went for the field goal in a situation that didn't call for the field goal. There's another ghost of the Ramblers past hiding out there in the Royals. But man, another pass complete to Sulzbach for 6. And we are under 3 minutes now in this game. It looks all but sold.
Yeah, unless there's a turnover here, I can't imagine. Honestly, I think the Royals need to switch to running the ball, try and get the first down just to kill the clock.
Yeah, Appleby maybe just completing some entrustments to his other receivers who didn't get the ball as much.
I mean, Hughes got the ball 9 times for 125 yards. You can hardly blame him for going to her. And false start on Appleby.
Yeah, I think Appleby might be getting prematurely excited here as the game is coming to a close. But here, again, the Royals' penalty issues actually haven't made much of a difference at the end of the day. But I would contribute that to, I mean, I know there's...
kept it closer. It might have been a 13-point game again for the Texas if it had not gone so many penalties against the Royals.
Yeah, the aggressiveness of the Royal has been a positive and a negative there. Timeout is called by Texas here to stop the clock, hopefully, and get some opportunities here to do something. I don't know if we're at the 2-minute warning yet. No, we are
just before it.
Just before it, of course. Texas looking here to make a stop on 3rd and 3. They have to use the timeouts. So another big play here. 3rd down. If they convert this down, I believe that's the game winner, in my opinion.
I'd agree. 100%.
So here we go. Drops back. They're going for the pass. And it's a sack. Oh, that's exactly what the Ramblers needed, but they are on crunch time. It actually takes them out of field goal range, too.
It does. I mean, not that a field goal would have put it up by 17. No, 15. So it still would have been a two possession game, just with an 8-point 2-point conversion required.
Yeah, so with a timeout taken after the 2-minute warning, the Montreal Royal will punt. I mean, with a minute 49 left, the best you could do is send out for the Hail Mary and hope
Hail Marys, and the onside kick.
And hope that Jackie Knight comes down with it at least one of those occasions. This is probably it, but I love the ambition here from the Ramblers to do at least something here as they run back up the field. They only get 9 yards. They're going to have to do it from the 10-yard line.
This is a long Hail Mary required, and if they run the ball in the first play, I might be pulling all my tail feathers out by the end of the next minute and a half.
If they run the ball on this next play, I'm going to be questioning the coach as a journalist quite heavily in the foreseeable future.
But what if they run 91 yards?
Well, they're set up in the spread formation, so hopefully they're going to be smart. Yeah, they do go for the pass, but it's a short pass, and it's broken up incomplete by Orville McDonough. That's the first time we've heard his name tonight. So 2nd and 10. And here they are in the I formation. It's minute 24 left. This could be a pass, but it would be a very strange running play if it's not. It could be a forfeit if that's the case. No, they will go for the pass. They do hope to get Milano out here on the outside. She does catch the ball and gets the first down, but she doesn't manage to get out of bounds.
Not out of bounds. That's the problem.
So first down at the 26-yard line. That takes the clock down. Oh, Calder spikes the ball to stop the clock. So we are probably at about a minute left in this game, but we are still back at the 30-some yard line. Sorry, the 24-yard line. 54 seconds to go. Ramblers with the ball. Drops back the pass. Calder throws right away to Plancher, so the ball's incomplete. And there is a penalty for an illegal shift on the offensive line that will back them up slightly and keep the ball going now at 3rd and long. This is the play of the game. If they do not convert this play, it's over.
Well, I mean, they can go for 4th, but how they've played so far in this drive is not hopeful, I think.
Well, and they're not set up, traditionally speaking, to go for a long passing play, so it'll be very curious here to see what happens. 3rd and long, here we go. Calder does go back to throw, scans downfield, finds Cletus Kenny, and it's a 6-yard gain. That is not enough, so now they will have to go for it on 4th down. And this will be...
I was going to say that was their last timeout too, so they are out of timeouts.
They are out of timeouts. And it looks like the Royal are celebrating already prematurely on the sidelines. Here we go. Calder back to throw. Quick toss to the middle, and that won't do it. My folks, my friends, that is the game. And Appleby comes out to kneel the ball. There you have it. The final score of FurBowl VII. The Montreal Royal are UFFL champions of international football. Or American football, depending on what you want to call it. Congratulations.
Well, they're not in America, so.
They are in Canada, but they have overtaken Texas for the 2nd year running and come out on this game on top. The final score is 34-22. And it was a fighting. It was a fight.
I mean, for the 3rd quarter, it did look like they were coming back. Again, we're gonna look back at those 2 back-to-back interceptions and point to that as the moment that Texas had the best glimpse of success and immediately lost it.
Yeah, the Texas Ramblers, I felt, played their heart out a lot more than in the 2019 FurBowl. I saw some signs of life at moments that were important for the team, but that back-to-back interception change has to go down as one of the most significant moments of this FurBowl. It absolutely destroyed an opportunity for the Ramblers to score off a mistake. It was the first big mistake that the Royal had made other than penalties. And we can talk about penalties all day long. But at the end of the day, if you're winning the game and you're winning comfortably, you can commit all the penalties you want. It's probably what was driving some of those penalties towards the end. Montreal held on.
Yeah, and like I said, most competitive game of their last 3 meetings, you have to say.
Yeah, these teams have a storied history now, and the Royal are owning the Ramblers. I mean, that's the only thing I can say, as Logustica coming up here with 122 rushing yards. We saw most of those taking place in the first quarter, but
Half of them in one run.
and half of them in one run. But hey, on paper, that's 2 touchdowns that contributed towards this scoring. Another 2 touchdowns through the air. Appleby, 80% of his passes completed tonight for 277 yards. I would have to imagine Appleby, if you don't give it to Sandra Wheeler, who was instrumental on the defensive side, certainly Tyron Appleby, holding things together with his team, deserves the MVP nod of this FurBowl.
I mean, it's hard to pick. You have a running back with. I mean, I do think that he fell off in the second half. The B tired out, but Keontae Hughes, 125 yards as well, with one of them being a 63-yard, massive play. Gave the Royals so much momentum between, and obviously Appleby has to be credited for getting the ball to Hughes in that situation. But Hughes made the most of it and I think ran 20 to 30 yards after catch.
Yeah, and the strategy there, comparative to the Texas wide receiving unit, was to spread the ball around on the Texas side. It worked pretty well for them, but they kept defaulting to this run. I think the game plan called for way more running than it should have. It was about a 50-50 split when it came out to it. But there were some also quite crucial passes that fell incomplete, short passes. I think Andrew Calder's game plan, was very similar in execution, but the difference here being that a lot more pass plays got either deflected by Montreal's passing defense or just were not very accurate passes.
Oh yeah, I mean you look at the targets versus actual receptions. Both Milano and Plantaris caught the ball less than 50% of the time than it was targeted at them. That's 11 passes that fell to the ground, whether or not due to deflections or just not able to get a paw on the ball.
And then, of course, we talk about something that is always difficult for a coach to manage these situations, but something about the FurBowl changes these plays to what is not quite clear at this time, why they decided to go for that field goal with 5 minutes left in the fourth and then had the ultimate failure of missing that score that kept the game at a 12-point difference. And you're looking at, even if you got that field goal, you would still be facing a 2-point score, and that's because you missed a 2-point conversion earlier in the game.
Yep. If they had made that, or even just made the extra, I mean, again, hindsight's 2020. At the time, going for the 2-point conversion made perfect sense.
I thought it was 2021.
What? Oh, I don't know. Stop it.
But we're having fun here. Oh,
look, you're having fun here. I'm confused and lost.
Quick review of the stats for the defense. We talked about Sandra Wheeler. Her 10 tackles, including 1 sack, had a huge impact for the Royal. 7 tackles from Claudio Fox, including that pass deflection and interception that they returned 44 yards and got them an eventual score. Pat Snow with 6 tackles and 3 pass deflections. Those 3 coming up quite huge. And even Jetty Abrams getting in towards the end there with a sack of his own. There was a huge difference between the effectiveness of the front line of the Ramblers, the front line of the Royal versus the Ramblers. And then you do have Osvaldo Hesperia getting 10 tackles. But aside from that interception from Francois Boulet, I didn't hear or see much that was, indicating to me that they came here with a lot of ability. And, we talked about them being last place in the league regular season on the defensive passing end. And that's what ended up impacting the final score.
No doubt, and I want to give a lot of credit to the Royals secondary. I made a comment that they were the second worst in pass deflections in the league, and the Texas Ramblers were actually the worst. But on average, the Royals deflected the ball 3.9 times. Today they did 7, practically double what their average was. So all the secondary clearly ate their Wheaties this morning and stepped it up when it came to shutting down honestly the terrifying duo of Milano and Knight on the other side.
We do have to clarify, just based on our sponsorship deals, that it is a wheat made cereal. We do not necessarily endorse Wheaties here.
Fine, and they didn't drink their salty water to rehydrate at the half that was clearly not designed and created by a gator.
Correct, because that does not exist.
Well, either way, honestly, we're going to talk about the offense doing well, but the defense for the Royals bent just enough without breaking. They shut down the run defense like they normally do, and their passing defense showed up. Had that not happened, I feel like the Texas Ramblers could have easily put up another touchdown or 2 and made this a nail biter at the end, if not for the Royals defense sticking strong and playing consistently through the whole game.
Yeah, we see here that Montreal were averaging 9 yards a pass versus Texas's 5 yards, and 3.5 yards per run versus Texas's 1.5. Major impacts that will evidently mean that it's going to be very difficult for you to score points. And even if some of those plays had worked themselves out differently, those pass deflections by Montreal were a key component in helping them elevate themselves. And we do see here that the offensive player of the game, they do give it to the Bumblebee, Vito Lagustica, for his 122 yards on 26 attempts and 2 touchdowns. And the defensive player of the game, no doubt about it, Sandra Wheeler with her 10 tackles and 1 sack. Every tackle feels like a sack when it's a black bear of 350 pounds of, whatever coming at you. No doubt about it, those 2 were instrumental to tonight's game result, which does mean that for the second year running, we have the same team coming out on top. It is the Montreal Royale defeating the Texas Ramblers, making it, for the first time in UFFL history, a team has won the UFFL FurBowl twice. Congratulations to Montreal. Congratulations to the teams. Staff that has worked so hard to get to this point. And really, fantastic result and fantastic game on both sides. It was a lot of fun to watch, and at some points, I was really on the tip of my toes. I don't know about you, Ryan, but it has been an amazing evening.
It has, and thank you once again for inviting me to the booth, getting to dip my wings into a different sports area that I haven't always been able to broadcast, not since high school at least.
Yeah, and I think you've had a fantastic energy about being able to respond, and your knowledge certainly of the game should not be questioned. You can question mine all you want. I'm sure I will be getting tweets after this game on Twitter about my performance, as I traditionally do. But I think that about does it. We will see the award ceremony coming up here shortly. But for now, that will be signing off for us. I've been Matt Lewis, and with Ryan Eastman, we will see you next year. Congratulations to Montreal Royale, and see you again for Season 8.